Hey guys, welcome back to another video of Funnel Diagnostics series. And in this video, I will be analyzing a 21-day course by Jennifer Trask. I actually found her profile on Facebook, and when I clicked on her link, this is the link I found. And when I checked it out, I came across this landing page. So I do have a reference landing page that I have created by cutting out different pieces from different landing pages. And I also have an example of, a hook headline over here. But before I go into that, let's just speak about this landing page as it is, and we'll move forward from there. So obviously the headline is very plain. Get consistent clients with a webinar you build in 21 days. Okay, it's very direct. That's a good thing. But the headline is not triggering a lot of interest. It's a very generic headline, right? Get consistent clients is so vague. With a webinar you build in 21 days. But why should I take action now? Or what is that going to help me with? Why do I need a webinar in 21 days? No cold messaging. I understand the, simplicity is being promoted here, that no cold messaging, no endless reels, no complicated funnel, just a clear, powerful presentation that explains what you do and make people want to work with you. It's just that we can frame it better and make it more interesting from a emotional standpoint. That's the thing that I'm saying. Plus, we could have a better graphic, or rather product stack image of basically what we are providing, right? So Webinar Lab is a 21-day program that you're offering, and I think you have a lot of stuff over here that you are promising. A completely, webinar from scratch. Maybe you could give a name to this thing, or the viral webinar transcript or viral webinar framework. What to say, how to say with confidence. Like you could give a name to this promise, be able to clearly articulate, know how to promote your webinar with the right people, something related to, traffic, viral traffic framework, have a repeatable client getting system. And when, we give a name to each of these line items, it would become easier to create the product stack. So this would become the product stack image, which you could place it over here, webinar lab 21 days, and with your image over here on the side. So that would make the page more appealing. And if you run ads to this landing page, I guess you do run ads to this landing page, it will convert readers better, because if you see over here, this one is visually appealing. There's a bold headline, right? And call to action with a product stack image. Here's everything you get. Leading with offers. I think this part is handled over here. You are leading with offer. The offer is webinar labs, build your high converting webinar in 21 days. So you are leading with offer. That's my framework of thinking. And then a CT over here, you do have it with a testimonial. I would say a better utilization of space can be done. It's taking a lot of space over here. So a testimonial could just be a simple box with a lot of words over here and at the center, or it could be on a side with a CTA block. So it could be that way as well. The point being, this landing page could be framed better in terms of visual design and as well as copy. So after that, there is the founder story that you're sharing. I am okay with having a founder story. And in fact, we should have a founder story, but I believe that there is a certain place for this one, and it comes after certain other elements. For example, after showing the offer. So this is the hero section, which has the hook, which has the product stack image, the button CTA, and immediately clearing the offer with the price. I did not find a price for this challenge on this landing page. So that's an important thing, in my opinion. I am sure this landing page must be working really well for you because we don't have the data. But the only feedback I have is if you present this landing page in, this format that I have over here. I've cut out a lot of pieces from different areas, different funnels, landing pages, and I've come up with this template. And if you present your data in this format, you will definitely see a better performance in terms of signups for your offer. And so, essentially, after the offer, immediately you should have a section for answering relevance. Is it for me? Because once they are intrigued by your headline, they see what you are providing in the offer in this product. Immediate question that comes to the reader's mind is on the relevance. If it's actually for me, will I really benefit from this offer? So I think you have that information. It's just presented in a different way. Over here, the webinar lab is for you if you are a woman coach, etc., etc. So the intent is there. I would suggest to frame it in a different way. Instead of having is it for you or not for you, that's also a way of doing it. Rather present it in the form of pain points, saying you are facing a problem number X. So let's say you're saying you are a woman coach, consultant, service provider who wants to get online clients online. So rather you could frame it as that your webinar lab is for you if you have been burnt for the last 3 months DMing cold prospects and getting silence in return. Something like that, focusing on the pain instead of focusing on the desire. Wanting to get clients online, everybody wants that, right? But then people relate more to the pain points. So if you emphasize on the pain they are in, maybe let's say for the last 3 months, you've been rigorously prospecting on cold DMs, but getting silence or rude responses in return. So webinar lab is for you. So like all of these, framing, just the framing part in the, keeping it inclined towards the pain points will help readers relate to your offer even more. So that comes immediately after the offer. Is it for me? Answering relevance and all framed in terms of pain points because people relate to pain points with the CTA. So that's fine. So the founder story comes a lot later. Before the founder story, there are a couple of things which I have over here, which one of which is the relevance. Immediately after the offer, which you have over here, immediately after that comes the relevance question. And after the relevance question comes the transformation. Yes, this is relevant to you. Okay, now this is the transformation that you will see. So before versus after. So before you could again focus on the pain points as we have, mentioned over here. There's no extra research required. Everything that is mentioned in this section where answering relevance can be exactly used the same on the before section, and in the after section you could paint the dream. Okay, you could paint the success, what the users want. So let's say in this case we are promoting a webinar, program where we will make a webinar for them, right? So you could frame it as next, you can have a webinar that prints, let's say on a conservative side, $3,000 every single week. That could be a success without sending a single email manually. Maybe everything is automated. So you could frame the success that way. And right now I have just rewritten the hook. I'll quickly come to the hook, but before that, I just want to touch upon all the different sections that will, make this landing page even more impactful, emotionally as well as logically. I am sure you might be getting good results with this one, but this will only help if you have a better design and intentional way of communicating the information. That's it. So this info is good, but presentation angle in which the data is, angle in which the pitch is made could be improved. So this is a testimonial. That's fine. Again, this could be optimized. I usually recommend to keep the landing page as concise as possible because people, generally don't read everything on the landing page, right? People just skim through that. And if you can keep it visually appealing, if you can keep it concise, then the reader would be more hooked to your landing page and be continuing on the feeding the information. After that, we have what you will get section. This is also very, very important. But the thing is, I can understand there is no graphical images. There is, the data is important, but it could be presented better. And I have an example for you on how it can be done. So what this is basically the what you get. Because it's a 3-week program, you could have week 1, week 2, week 3, these sections and a proper graphical image of yourself with some amount of copy mentioned over here. I guess you have just the headlines or the main idea of each single week. So craft compelling offers, shifting beliefs, co-working, brainstorming. You could make it more interesting with not a lot of copy, but a little bit of copy also works. And also give a promise. Again, promise and a call to action at the bottom. So what are you waiting for? This is literally again a promise. Promise, then a CTA block. This will make this section even, and people will stick to the landing page to read because there's a lot of visual hooks that are there on this one, this section. Okay. So with a few testimonials, you do have 2 or 3 testimonials you can add over here. And after that is the end of sales letter, it seems beta pricing just for you. Take action now. Beta cohort. I'm keeping the group intentionally small. Oh, yes, you do have the price over here. Today, because it's beta pricing, you get it for just 497. So you could present it, in bold so that the reader does not miss this information, because as it is right now, people will definitely skip through this information because people are reading very fast. They're not intentionally reading every single word, right? So just make it concise. And 497 is a huge deal, right? It You might as well write it in bold with the CTA. And then about the coach. So about the coach and this story can be merged. You can, in the way of showing your story, you are introducing yourself. So after this section could come coach, your story. This is where, people, where the story matters, honestly, because people really want to understand what there is for themselves in this offer. So relevance is very important. Transformation is very important. What they get in the 3 weeks is important. And also your authority, you have a lot of authority, right? You are an MBA, you have 17 years of experience, more than 230 entrepreneurs served. Maybe you have some, certifications. Yeah, you are an award-winning international speaker, business coach. So some of these accolades, if you can present them visually over here and on the hero section, all of your accolades, if you can put over here. So that will build credibility for your offer. So that's very important. This I like this section because you're trying to close the reader with very intentional copy. 6 months from now, you could still be explaining what you do to one person, or you could have a webinar that does it for you. Webinar lab gives you the structure and the deadline to build. Beta pricing goes up after the cohort. So it's a good section, but it's getting blended in all of the landing page because it's not standing out. So that was my breakdown for this landing page. Very good offer, I would say, because it's helping people run webinars. But there's a lot of feedback on the structure of the landing page, on the sequence in which the information should be given, in my opinion, to have the highest impact on conversions. Plus, I have also rewritten the hook for this landing page, which I believe would actually speaks to the pain point of the reader if they land on this page and will help them take the decision. So this is how I have the headline. Message for female entrepreneurs about to quit because it's exhausting. This 90-minute webinar flipped my business from a desperate DM punishment to a client attraction magnet. So I got, all this idea from your founder story you shared over here. You explained how you were spending a lot of time in one-on-one conversation nobody really wanted because nobody wants to feel like they're being sold to. So it's basically a punishment for you because you are reaching out to so many people and they're not really giving you the response that you would like to have. So this 90-minute webinar flipped my business from a desperate DM punishment to a client attraction magnet. Next 21 days, I'll personally help you build a webinar using my attraction webinar framework, whatever, that you can simply plug and play in your business. So I am calling out on the exact problem and exact ICP. That problem being that it's exhausting, right? Because it's a desperate DM punishment. You suffer with how you have been doing it until now. Okay. And the vehicle we are pitching is the 90-minute webinar that flipped my business from a desperate DM punishment to a client attraction magnet. And what is it? What's there for the reader? Next 21 days, I'll personally help you build this webinar that you can simply plug and play in your business. So this is chemicals in the reader's mind, and they would, if even if they won't sign up, they'll still read to know more what is it that you're offering. Because over here, it's just get consistent clients with webinar you build in 21 days. Honestly, it looks very low effort to me, at least, because people have been desensitized towards such marketing. There's a lot of discover this new method or get consistent clients or promising results within a time frame. It's a very general framework of writing headline. So we have to spice it up with a lot of pain points. We have to spice it up with a promise, which is very curiosity driving from this pain to this success. The vehicle was 90-minute webinar that delivered this success. So I would want to understand what is it that you're trying to say? How did you go from this punishment to this magnetism? So this is a headline which I came up with. You can obviously use all of these insights and have your own version of headline, but definitely this headline needs some work. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys like this video. I have broken down this live offer because this was run, I think you had a run between 17th of March to somewhere in April. So it's currently live as well. So it's working. And if you improve on all of these aspects as per my suggestions, then hopefully you'll get even more conversions on this landing page. So that's all for this video. I hope you guys will like this breakdown for Jennifer Trask's webinar lab program for 21 days. And just let me know in the comments if you guys have any inputs for this video. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.